Moving through the metro area. Good morning. This is Coffee Talk. We get together 7 days a week at 8 a.m. Chat about what's going on in the world of weather. You see in the bottom corner, we've got our first warning live Doppler radar up, and we'll certainly be using that tool through the morning to track storms. But I've been watching this tower cam for the last few minutes, and I wanted to pop on because I have been seeing not only torrential rains, but a wicked lightning display. I mean, it is something else. You've got to be careful out this morning when driving, right? Yeah. All right, let's get right over to First Warning Live Doppler Radar. I will also add that I am going to be, from time to time, needing to make tweaks to the radar and compare. We have a C-band radar. It's prone to rain, fade, and attenuation, and so I have to manually fix that, and that's what I've been doing. But there it is, the storms essentially right over our television station and our Doppler radar tower. There's a loop, and you see those storms marching right through the metro area. It is a messy, messy morning. Just a lot of lightning. So let's zoom in and see kind of where some of the stronger storms are. Moving right into Pine Hills. There's Lockhart, downtown Orlando. It is nasty, nasty. We pop up our velocity channel, and this is sub-severe. We're only reading about a 20 mile per hour wind in there at the radar site. That said, it's very, very heavy rain, and it's marching right up to I-4. So certainly it's going to be a case of blinding rains. All right, I need to make a quick tweak to our radar. 4, 3. Again, I need to constantly make some of those tweaks. But nevertheless, very, very heavy rain. Altamont Springs, there's 436. Getting over to the 417. It's clearing out over Sanford, Lake Mary. But then back over here toward Volusia County, Scottsmore, watching that very, very heavy rainfall marching on through. Yeah, and then it will continue to move over toward like Titusville and Brevard County. So there's kind of a wider perspective of these storms. Yeah, I need to probably pulse this up just a quick hit here. Just a second, -3. Let me go to -2. So just kind of tweaking it up a little bit, but there you go. So that line of storms is moving through. In terms of, Futurecast, showing that hail is certainly a concern here these next few hours as this line moves through. It's just going to be one of those days, my friends, where we're going to have to watch things very closely. Temperatures out the door are in the 70s, even lower 80s, and it is a first warning weather day because of all of this nasty weather all the way through this afternoon, because this first line, and we'll look at Futurecast together, but this first line comes through, and then do we heat things back up enough to develop more storms? That's going to be the question we have, right? So let's just take a minute and set the stage, all right? We've got the storms around. There is a ground stop in effect to Orlando International Airport. Currently, there are 159 on-time flights. Only 16 flights are delayed. 1 flight is canceled. I have a gut feeling that that's going to tweak around just a little bit. All right, so let's get an idea here on Futurecast and see what it's saying, right? All right, so here's Futurecast kind of extended. 8 a.m., it's got the storms further south than they actually are, but okay. Then you notice kind of late morning, more instability over our southern counties and then clearing out. That's the longer range Futurecast. Let's come in and take a look at the shorter range rapid refresh Futurecast, showing the same thing. All right, and then kind of clearing out into the afternoon. I'm curious. I want to check out the HER model and see where that's taking things. Okay, let's see here. Okay, so the HER model actually I think is doing a better, the models have been struggling with this entire scenario here these last few weeks. But let's take a look at the HER model together. High resolution rapid refresh model, okay? And showing another influx of energy around 12, 1, 2 o'clock. Right. So the models couldn't be further apart from each other in terms of like locations. I kind of, it's tough, in these situations. You kind of have to take everything with a grain of salt and then see the forest through the trees, right? Look out in the Gulf of Mexico. Is there more stormy weather developing? Yes. Where is it developing? All the way up to like Pensacola, right? So because of that, I would tend to lean more on the HERS perspective of things, right? I would tend to think that that's going to probably be more accurate in terms of where these things go. So for me, I would say, looking at all the model guidance, let's go back here, and you can kind of see sloppy now, but then through about 11, 12 o'clock, pulsing up more of these cells coming in off of the Gulf of Mexico, 1, 2 o'clock, right? Even through the afternoon, there's 3 p.m., nasty storms through the metro, and then 4, 5 o'clock, everything is pushing south. Totally plays out for me. Totally plays out for me. Beta Futurecast, let's just look. I know we haven't done a lot of talking, and I apologize. Beta Futurecast showing this first wave through, and then, yeah, kind of showing that influx coming in from the Gulf of Mexico, so that totally makes sense. All right, of that, let's look at the rotation product, okay? Showing some rotation around. Notice 11 o'clock or so, some decent little updrafts there, right? So that tornadic threat, I think, is going to, in terms of model data, that's pretty aggressive. So, for me, it's definitely something to keep eyes on. All right. We don't need to look at thunder. We get that. Let's look at hail. 10, 11 o'clock, definitely trying to show some hail producers through the afternoon. Absolutely. So, totally makes sense. Now, for today, okay, we are under a level 2 risk for scattered strong to severe storms. We've seen some of those play through overnight, but what I think is most interesting about this, okay, is when you look at the threat-by-threat breakdown for the day, severe weather in all shapes and sizes is there. There's a level 2 out of 5 risk for tornadoes, damaging winds, and hail. It's kind of just a rocking and rolling atmosphere, and so because of this, we'll have to watch for all of the different threats. They're all going to be with us today. All right? So that's that. We can pause for a second. Before we pause, let me just pop back up the radar. I want to make sure it's scanning because I'm the one that's doing this. So I feel like the rain fade is probably at its worst right now. Let me just pulse it up from -2 to 0. Yeah, we need to pop it 2 more decibels. There's the one thing that you probably don't realize is when you run your own live radar, you really need to make on-the-fly tweaks. Okay? And so that's exactly what we're doing. So like this is Melbourne's radar. This is our radar. And once it scans, I just want to scan this cell and make sure that I'm looking to make sure like Melbourne's radar is showing a lot of red. I want to try and make sure that we're getting into that even with the rain fade as well, yeah. So I could probably even bring it up to like 1 or 2. Let me go to 2. Yeah, I mean, this is a really intense cell. So because of that, I'm having to pulse it up. So rain fade and attenuation are absolutely a thing. All right. So it's going now, once this rain exits the radar, it's going to be super hot. We're going to have to pulse it down just a little bit. So anyway, all right. While I'm watching that, let's talk. Let's take questions, comments, concerns. Stacy and Gary, we're getting rain, and I'm all over the rain. Yeah, I get it. But look at that torrential downpour. Downtown Orlando about to get clobbered with this just big gusty downpour. Let's pop up our tower cam network downtown, see what's doing. Oh yeah, look at that. You can see that. That shelf cloud is moving on in, right? Let's look. This is our WESH 2 first warning live Doppler radar tower camera. Yeah. Let's head to downtown Orlando, the other tower cam, and you can see that line moving in. Yep. Yeah, this is kind of a neat shot in a terrifying setting. Looks like Independence Day, doesn't it? Right. All right. Let's zoom in. Yep. All right. So that at least matches. Yeah. Now I counteracted the rain fade just in time for it. Now Winter Park, it's rocking and rolling over my house. There's Dyke Road. There's the 417, Oviedo, Slavia, Union Park, UCF, Waterford Lakes. You'll be up next, down to Boone High School. It's clearing out of Gotha and Windermere. My friends down that direction. Certainly some good news there. But again, there's more kind of development out in the Gulf of Mexico that we're going to have to watch. So yeah, definitely watching some nasty stuff around. And in the heart of the metro, downtown Orlando, right around kind of that tourist district curve on I-4, it's about to get real, my friends. Yeah. All right. Near middle of downtown Orlando, have a fire drill scheduled for 9 a.m. I'm suggesting postponing until 10 a.m. Will severe stuff be cleared out by then? Oliver, I would say at that point you'll probably be pretty okay. Will it still be storming? Yeah, I think it'll still be storming. But will you be in a much better spot? Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. All right, as the storm is exiting the radar, now I have to start pulsing this back down. So, all right. We can do 1, we can do 0. This is the stuff that goes on behind the scenes that you have no idea about. Yeah, but so if that cell looks a little overdone at the moment, Melbourne radar, us. So I've started pulsing us down. Now that the cell's exiting, the rain fade is going to completely decay real quick. Yeah. My kids are trying to leave school early because none of their friends are going to school because of the rain today. Like, what is wrong with these kids? Listen, I'm not going to judge anybody. I know we all walked uphill in the snow both ways. I get it. Our parents walked uphill in the snow both ways. I get it. Safety is safety. I'll never forget, last year, people were struck and killed by lightning waiting at a bus stop. So I'm not going to make fun of anybody that does not want to go out in lightning. You know, my job as a meteorologist is to make sure to try and keep people safe, right? Michael, do you think the tornado watch will be extended? I mean, I think that once this line comes through, it's going to be interesting just to see, how the atmosphere kind of recycles itself. We haven't seen rotating storms here in the last little bit. Doesn't mean we're not going to see more. The tornado watch, by the way, does go until 11 a.m. And if you're unfamiliar with the nomenclature of watches versus warnings, a watch means be prepared. Conditions are favorable for tornadic development, whereas a tornado warning means it's happening. Either Doppler radar indicates a tornado or somebody has spotted it. Either way, we need to pay attention, right? So that's kind of where we're at. Tornado watch is posted for the entirety of Central Florida until 11 o'clock this morning, all right? So, yeah, I'm never going to make fun of somebody that does not want to go out in a thunderstorm. You go out after the thunderstorm, you'll be totally good and okay. All right, let's see here. You need to compare Melbourne. All right, so we're a little hot now, so I need to bring the intent. This is the way it works. When storms go over our radar, it's like the biggest pain in my butt, period, because it's such quick tweaks. Like you see how it's starting to show some pinks there. It's because the radar is now hot. So yeah, it's the fun of watching live radar and adjusting the settings. No rain in Tampa, just thunder. The line is moving through. Yeah, the line is moving through. What kind of wind speeds are in these storms? So for right now, it's sub-severe, so 20, 30 mile per hour winds is what we're scanning at the moment. I'm so ready for this to come through here in Avalon Park, Waterford Lakes. Oh, it's on its way. That's for sure. It is on its way. Yeah. Oh, yeah, the weather stem, the FAMU weather stem. I've got it. Hold on. Orange. All right, weather stem. Here's the Florida A&M University. Yeah, there's the FAMU weather stem. That's in downtown Orlando. Yeah, you can see the rains are rolling in. Oh, yeah. Whereas you head over to like Windermere, the storms have already cleared the area. The track there, right? It's a little wet. It'll be all right. Here's, this is Orlando on the north side of the International Airport there. But yeah, definitely the FAMU College of Law weather stem cam is looking the best. All right. Just for the next couple of minutes, I want to keep the radar popped up just because I'm live tweaking this for Kellyanne and Cam, and I want to make sure. All right, so we need to bring it down a little bit more. 2, we'll go 4. All right. But yeah, the good news is, looking at velocity product, yeah, 20, 18. So we're not into severe. We're not into severe. I mean, they're good thunderstorms, don't get me wrong, but we're not into anything severe there. Yeah. All right. I'm over here in OBT off I-4. Okay, good for you. So much rain here in Eustis, a lot of localized flooding. Needed it so badly. Are we done for today? No, it looks like we're going to get more opportunities for rainfall kind of through the afternoon. We're not going to be done and over with for a while. So, yeah. I'm supposed to go to the dentist in Altamont at 9. I rescheduled my appointment so I didn't have to be out in this mess. Get it. Totally get it. Why? Listen, why would you put yourself out in it if you don't need to? All right, there's the live radar sweep. Just checking here. Yeah, still I think a little hot. Yeah, we're see how I had to bring it up like 8 or 9 dBz. Now I'm having to bring it back down for, I think it's either Zcal of 7 or 8 is our normal. So I have to wait for the radar to sweep through again to check. But we're getting close. Now that the rain has passed our WESH 2 radar, I'm just about done tweaking it back down. Kelly says, I chose a great time to go get coffee. I won't leave my car until this goes away. Totally get that. When is this going to hit the UCF area? All right, so let's come over here and you can clearly see. I mean, it should be picking up pretty good there. Should be picking up pretty good there. Who is messing with this radar right now? Yeah, should be picking up pretty good there. What is happening? Hold on. If this is Manalfi, I'm going to kill him. Stop. Stop. If that's you, Manalfi, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to get you. I'm live. He knows every day at 8 a.m. this is mine. Maybe I've fought him enough now. Yeah, you can see, though, it's... We only have so many weather computers. He's probably woke up trying to take the radar and he realized, bada bing, I'm sorry. But yeah, so Union Park, I mean, is it not in University yet? It looks like it should be. Should be picking up there pretty good. I would think. Looks like it to me. Yeah. Thankfully, these are not severe. That's the good news. All right, Melbourne. All right, I think we're at a pretty good calibration for now. I'll have to... All right, there we go. The rain is welcome, Jane says. Oh, for sure. For sure. I'd like to see the rain come to me in Palm Bay. Does the HER have rotation tracker? It has a flavor of it. Let's see. So this is the significant tornado threat. Hold on, let me load the HER version. Let's see, I've got to load, this is Futurecast, where is the HER? Hold on. Okay. All right, here's the HER tornado threat. And again, it's, I haven't looked at this or anything. All right, but you kind of see it's trying to throw some tornado threat orange into like Brevard County. So yeah, I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. Models are struggling. I mean, this is, I got to be honest, this is a very complex weather pattern, and that's the struggle that we have. So when looking at this overall, the idea is this morning we've got the showers and the thunder showers, but we have to watch the Gulf of Mexico because it's the Gulf of Mexico that's going to be driving the next round of showers and thunder showers our direction, right? So keep that in mind. Who adjusts the radar when you were sleeping? You do sleep. Sometimes it doesn't get adjusted, and it just, they have to use the National Weather Service. I will tell you, I'm the nerd that has gone to learn as much as I can about the radar. So it's, I take that as my responsibility just as much as I can. Yeah. So Christy's asking, is there more after the line? Yes. The answer to that is yes. Look at the, let's pop up. Let's go back to the live radar and let me just eyeball this and make sure we're calibrated. Yeah, we're doing pretty good. All right, let me switch over to the Tampa radar. And the Tampa radar is showing these storms out here. First off, by the way, like Hillsborough County, there's a ton of thunder and lightning there. Like let's just zoom in there. Like that cell over Hillsborough, there's a ton of lightning in there. Yeah, 378 lightning strikes. And then there's these over off the shoreline there of Pinellas. But beyond that, look at these clusters here out in the Gulf of Mexico that are just coming into radar range, right? This is the next system that will be moving in, bringing us the threat for severe weather come this afternoon. So no, we've got more storms moving in. What a unique little weather setup we have here, right? It's a lot going on. A lot going on. Kelly says Manolfi needs to go ahead. No, it was Cam. I had a graphic open and she needed it, so it's okay. Arch, my HOA sent a warning to put out all loose stuff inside. Is that accurate? I mean, thunderstorms. This isn't a hurricane. It's just thunderstorms. They're probably just doing their due diligence. I didn't move anything, but I'm also in South Florida right now, and I'm not going to ask my wife to go move anything around. So it is what it is, right? Stacy says, thanks for the heads up this morning here in Umatilla. Of course. Yeah. So, again, for the forecast today, we've got opportunities for showers and thunder showers to get strong morning, noon, through the afternoon. Until that cluster of storms from the Gulf of Mexico arrives, it's going to be sporty. That's where we're at, right? All right. Let me just roll down here. Taylor, how screwed are we during the recycle? One step at a time. Yeah. Science rules. Intelligent radar usage is a scientific art. Oh, it's an art form. Let me tell you. It's one of those art forms, by the way, that I feel like a lot of TV stations have radars, but not a lot of TV stations know how to use the dang things. I'll tell you that for free. It's a pain in the neck. Don't get me wrong. This is an engineering tool. And what I'm constantly doing is like Melbourne radar, our radar. I'm constantly checking to make sure that we're calibrated correctly. And you can kind of see Melbourne radar, our radar. So I'm constantly checking to see, make sure that we're calibrated. Thankfully, not seeing any significant winds on our velocity product. Our reflectivity, the worst of the weather is crossing out of downtown Orlando now. There's Azalea Park, Legacy Middle School, getting down into Conway here shortly. There's that live radar sweep coming through, getting down toward Hoffner and eventually Lee Vista and the beach lines. We're getting near the international airport. That is when the flights are going to be fakakta. That's when the flights are going to get backed up in a big way. Yeah. It's not going to be great. Have you received any images from Ormond Beach Holly Hill warning this morning showing damage? I have not. I have not. Let me open my email. Hold on a second here. I don't see. Yeah, I don't see any damage pictures. I just see information about news stuff, so that's good. All right, significant weather advisory just issued for, and this is of no surprise, for Brevard County. All right, it's all this cluster of stormy weather over here. Strong thunderstorm moving through kind of that northern Brevard County area from about the port northbound, right? So it's going to be this cluster here. Our velocity channel certainly showing some uptick of winds. Let me look at Melbourne a little bit. Yeah, just a little uptick of wind. So some decent thunder and lightning in there. But to me, this little cluster here is of particular strength. It's not severe, but it's a nice gusty storm, that is for sure. So there's the radar kind of sweeping on through. But Titusville, Indian River City, all of our friends over here in Brevard County, just a heads up. Also, tourist district friends, let's not forget about you. Let's come down here and check on our first warning live Doppler radar. Heaviest rain is over the 429 right now, but it's pulsed up just a little bit in the last few moments' time. Just comparing, making sure that's Melbourne, that's us. I'm always going to check in this kind of a scenario. You always need to check to make sure your radar's in calibration. You constantly have to do that. What do you think about developing AI to adjust the radar for you? Troy, if I was smart enough, I would not be doing this for a living. I'll tell you that for free. I wish I could. I'm sure it's possible. Using the radar on the 757, it's like doing a tech ballet with 1980s technology. Let me tell you something. Even though we have the latest signal processor available, the highest resolution signal processor on the planet, and I'm not just saying that, you still have to massage it. It's like a nice tender veal. You have to massage it just right. Yeah, Jay says MCO on a ground stop until 9:30. No, it's true. And just a few moments ago, we checked on the status, and technically, we haven't started to see the delays really build yet. There's only 16 flight delays. But as Jay mentioned, the ground stop is in effect. The current delays are running about 45 minutes, and they're increasing. I would expect the delay, I don't know what the buffer is for the display of delays, but I would fully suspect that we would see that building more and more and more. All right, so there's our live radar as it's kind of sweeping on through. That tornado watch continues until 11 o'clock. Yeah, raining and pouring. Thankfully, nothing severe at the moment. Nothing severe. Steph over on YouTube's asking, what is the criteria for severe thunderstorms? I definitely would have considered the storm we had come through Deltona, Osteen area just before 7 severe. Well, there were severe thunderstorm warnings for Volusia. There was even the tornado warning. 58 mile per hour winds, hail 3/4 of an inch or greater, that kind of a thing. That's it. That's what triggers a severe thunderstorm warning. All right? Yeah. Sarah's asking, is the metro going to get hit by more or has it passed? The metro area will get hit with more later in the day. Just not this line, but there's plenty more out in the Gulf of Mexico that's going to be there. Nikki says our framers were supposed to be here this morning, but hubby messaged our GC at 7 a.m. to have them hold off because of the storm. No reason for them to try and work in this. Oh, it's true. It's true. Yeah. Give them some time to get through. Guy, I have to drive from Winter Springs to downtown Orlando at 9:30. Will I be okay? 9:30. If it's 8:26, the storm, let me just pop this on the wide shot. The storms are moving through currently. Then there's more out in the Gulf of Mexico that's going to be moving in. And those in the Gulf of Mexico are going to be our next round later. So once you're done with this line, like the Villages, Ocala, for example, you're going to have a little bit of time before it gets feisty again. So yeah, I would definitely say that you're good to go for a bit. Shane, anything after 17 minutes is marked delayed by the FAA. Yeah. All right. Mickey says the 10Z observed sounding for XMR just came out. All right. SPC sounding. Stand by. Let me pull it up. Dial up the old sounding. Since it's a severe weather day, might as well. All right. Yeah. All right. So initial thoughts. Looking pretty decent. We've got like a little mini goalpost there at the very bottom of the screen. Definitely a nice little dry air aloft. Not significant wind shear. We're going from a light southwesterly wind to a westerly wind, 35 knots upstairs at about 850 millibars. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a decent little atmosphere to give us, if we get a tornado, the significant tornado kind of parameter would be there. Like, if we got a tornado developing in this atmosphere, it would have the opportunity to get going. The question is that are we going to have enough instability for that? But, there's a decent level there. I'm just looking at like Cape, Showalter. I'm just looking at all the fun stuff. There's not a ton of turning, but the supercell index is, Cape, M-Cape, yeah. I mean, it's, you've got a severe weather setup, and that's why today we're under that level 2 out of 5 risk for strong to severe storms. So, tornado, definitely a possibility. Damaging winds, definitely a possibility. New significant weather advisory just out for Volusia, Seminole, and Orange counties. So, no surprise here. It's that cell right in there in the metro. Subsevere. subsevere. Our Doppler radar pinging winds. It's moving, at about 20 or so. So you're talking about 40 mile per hour gusts, I would suspect, from this. Over Conway, getting down to the Orlando International Airport, and then, of course, from there continuing on out. All right, 7-day forecast. Let's take a look at that. Make sure we're good here. Okay. 7-day forecast showing today is a first warning weather day. We've got these storms this morning. Then we've got more stuff coming later on. Then we go mostly dry and hot, looking ahead to Thursday, Friday, and then Saturday into Sunday. We'll bring some storms back in. We're not quite to the rainy season yet. We're kind of teasing around with it, right? But we definitely have all of that energy to be with us. Yeah. All right. So I would just say, checking in over here. Let me... Hold on, let me pull this up. I don't know why she wanted me to close it. She didn't touch it, so why would you? All right, so Futurecast, not doing a great job. The HER model, I think, doing a great job. So here's the HER model kind of showing storms bubbling up 12, 1, 2, 3 o'clock, moving into our area through the afternoon. So don't be surprised when we get more stuff later on today, all right? Cam is in with Kellyanne this morning, and then Marquise and Tony will be leading coverage this afternoon. All right, before I go, questions, comments, concerns. Let me pop the radar up, make sure we're still calibrated correctly. It's not that the radar loses calibration, but the atmosphere changes, and so you have to make sure to baby it. Yeah, we're still looking good. All right. Questions, comments, concerns as we track this line of nasty storms moving through Central Florida. Talk to me about my evening lessons, 3:30 to 6. It should be clearing out little by little in that time frame. So I think you'll be doing pretty okay. Jesus says 3 a.m. tornado warnings are always fun. Always fun. Aggie, we're down in Miko. Why are we on tornado warnings? You're not. You're on tornado watches as this line moves your direction, particularly because we could be seeing some heating down that direction. Let's look at the temperatures. I mean, it's 80 degrees. So as these storms move into that destabilized air mass, there's the possibility that they could catch an updraft and go tornado warned. And that's why the National Weather Service has issued the tornado watch. Reminder what the difference is, very important. The difference between a tornado watch and a tornado warning. Tornado watch means that conditions are favorable for tornadic development, whereas a tornado warning means that it's happening, according to either Doppler radar or National Weather Service meteorologists. In this case, we're under a watch. This line moves through. That watch is until 11 a.m. I suspect we could see that watch extended later on because of kind of this secondary round coming in from the Gulf of Mexico. We just have to wait and see if it comes into a destabilized air mass or not. William's asking, is there a hurricane coming off the coast of Africa? Not today. There's no hurricanes out there, buddy. No. All right. Okay, questions, comments, concerns. Oh, Nari, it's so good to see you, my love. Nari and I used to work together 100 years ago. Oh, you just lit up my life this morning to see your name. Thank you. Seek and destroy. Second batch will likely be our main threat. Look, we already had tornado warnings this morning. I would not write off this morning's line. It has come subdued a bit now, but there will be more. So don't think that this was nothing. We had many tornado warnings this morning. It was a busy morning. What makes ground level good condition to keep tornado going on the ground? It has nothing to do with the ground level. It has everything to do with the atmosphere. You need to be able to support spin and shear. You need to be able to support all of that stuff. All right. So at this moment, we're good. I will be covering storms between weather hits from the Governor's Hurricane Conference down here in South Florida. I'm actually reporting Coffee Talk from our sister station, WPBF. This was my very first TV station on the air, so great memories in this newsroom. There are some Great many WPBF alumni working with us up at WESH. Meredith McDonough worked with me down here. My news director, Stephanie Linton, worked with us down here. Photographer, the list goes on and 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 on. Yeah. All right. So it's kind of fun to be in these hallowed walls, for lack of a better term. A lot has changed since I worked here. But anyway, Florida, Mimi, can you give a forecast for 2 p.m. again in Orlando? Flight leaving at 2. There's gonna be some storms around, so it'll be something. Kevin says sun's trying to come out in Orlando. See, that's the thing. If the sun comes out as these storms arrive, then we could be talking about that destabilization in the atmosphere, and that's why we cannot rule out some stuff getting a little feistier later on today. All right, so we'll watch, we'll track, we'll keep you up to date. Again, Cam and Kellyanne in the Weather Center this morning, and then you've got Marquise and Tony in the Weather Center this afternoon. Tony was on the air until, what, like 5 a.m. this morning? Tell me that's not a great chief meteorologist, okay? Tony's sleeping right now. I am not saying this to rub his shoulders. Dude does the things. And I am so flippin' grateful to work with a chief like that. Aggie's asking, why is Southern Brevard in a tornado watch? I told you that 10 minutes ago, because the conditions are ripe that as the storm moves, you could have a threat. That's why. Not this round, perhaps the next round. We have to wait and see, but the conditions are favorable for tornadic development. That's why the Storm Prediction Center has issued that tornado watch for all of our area. That tornado watch goes until 11 o'clock this morning, okay? We'll be keeping you updated and we'll track it, all right? All right. Be the sunshine in someone else's day. Thank you so much for hanging out for Coffee Talk. We'll chat later. I may pop on live. Depends. We'll figure it out, all right? Be good, y'all. Take care. Bye.